Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
Mr. Lee, did you stop by the Barnes Gallery on February 25th, the night the defendant's paintings were stolen?
Yeah, I stopped by. It was around 3 a.m. Place was dark.
What were you doing there?
Well, I was out late with some friends, you know, having a good time, and I needed some money for some grub, so I left a voucher in petty cash.
Was anyone else present in the gallery at the time?
No.
Did you see or hear anything that aroused your suspicions?
No, I didn't know a robbery had taken place.
Did anyone at any time keep a gun on the premises of the Barnes Gallery?
Yes. Zachary Barnes had one. In a drawer in his office, locked up. Had a big fat barrel.
What color was it?
Silver.
Do you remember any other identifying detail?
Yes, it had Smith & Wesson stamped on the barrel. I remember I was at work that night and I saw him from across the room. He unsnapped his briefcase and slid a pistol into his drawer and locked it.
Did you tell the defendant about the gun?
No.
Did you ever see that gun again?
No, never.
When you saw Zachary in his office holding the gun, was he about as far away from you as I am now?
I don't know, maybe a little further.
And you never saw the gun again?
No.
What kind of chewing gum is this?
I don't know. I don't remember which one has the blue pack.
It's Beeman's, Mr. Lee. Good old-fashioned brand. Now, you couldn't read the bold, oversized type on this package. How could you possibly read Smith & Wesson on a gun from across the room?
I don't know.
Would you like to reconsider your statement that you never saw the gun again? I'm going to ask you again, Mr. Lee. Did you go back and take a second look at the gun in the deceased's office?
Yeah, I went back. I looked at it again and saw the words on the barrel.
Did you go by yourself?
I can't remember.
You can't remember? That's ridiculous.
Listen, I didn't know what Tobin was going to do with the damn gun. I had no idea.
Now slow down, please, and just tell us the story from the beginning.
Like I said, I saw Zach bring a gun into the gallery. I was worried what he might be planning because there was so much garbage going on between him and Tobin. So I told Tobin about the gun. I thought I should warn him. So we got the extra key and unlocked the drawer and I showed it to him.
How'd he react?
I couldn't tell, really, if he was excited or mad, but he mumbled something, I think, like, "Good work, Simon, I'm glad to have this."
Did you ever hear the defendant mention the affair between Zachary Barnes and Ruby Garcia?
Yeah, I heard him and Ruby.
When was this?
A couple days before the murder. They were in their apartment, upstairs from the gallery where I was. But I wouldn't call it a conversation. James was yelling his head off at Ruby.
What did he say?
He said he had just discovered a love letter from Zach, and he was mad as hell, yelling threats and stuff.
I'd like to establish the order of events, Mr. Lee. First, did you actually see this letter?
Yeah, Zach gave it to me to give to Ruby at the loft.
Was the defendant home?
Well, he was coming up to the loft, and I passed him on the stairs on my way down after I delivered the letter.
What happened next?
Tobin busted through the bathroom door. He caught Ruby reading the letter, and he grabbed it from her and started pushing her around, and she was screaming.
Objection! Hearsay! How could he know this? The witnesses testified he was not in the room.
I could hear her. Besides, Ruby told me.
Your Honor,
The witness will confine himself to answering questions.
She asked a question.
Questions from the examining attorney. And he will not be a wise guy in my court.
Did you happen to open the letter and read it?
I glanced at it.
Why?
Because I was looking out for my boss. Well, we were friends, and I was a little paranoid of what Zach might be up to.
Did you tell the defendant about the contents of the letter?
Yeah, I told him, but I wish I didn't.
When did you tell him?
Right after I gave Ruby the letter when I ran into him on the staircase.
And what happened next?
He went into the loft and he and Ruby started fighting.
Did you see the defendant again that day?
Yeah. About a half hour later downstairs when he put a hole in the wall with his fist and cleared everything off his desk, including a new vase of flowers. It broke.
He say anything?
Yeah, he said Zachary was a real bastard to be getting it on with Ruby and he was going to make him very sorry.
You ask what he meant by that?
You crazy?
No more questions, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Did you ever see Mr. Tobin in possession of a gun that Zachary Barnes kept in his office?
No.
Did Mr. Barnes ever mention the gun was missing from its drawer?
No.
So Zachary Barnes was the last person in possession of the weapon?
I don't know. Like I said, the last time I saw the gun was on Tuesday when I showed it to James. It was weird. I remember he touched me on the shoulder, and when I think about it, it gives me a chill.
A chill?
Yeah. I realized I gave Tobin what he needed. A way to kill Zach.
Mr. Lee, on the night that you delivered the deceased's letter to Ms. Garcia, did you actually see her and James Tobin quarreling?
No, but I heard him.
You were one story below. Could you actually make out the substance of their conversation?
Well, James was yelling pretty loud.
But could you decipher his exact words?
I could decipher that he was out of control.
Quiet down, please.
I'm done with the witness.
Well, that's all for today. Court is adjourned.
And in news of the trial today, Simon Lee, an ex-employee of the accused, testified. Richard, fill us in about Mr. Lee.
Simon Alphonsus Lee had only a brief career at the gallery as a gopher, and since the notoriety of the trial, he's achieved minor celebrity status among the South of Market rave scene. And if the prosecution was hoping to use Lee to place Tobin at the scene of the theft, they failed miserably.
Dick, if there's a murder charge, why does either side care about the minor charge of larceny?
2 reasons. He may be found innocent of murder, in which case the larceny charge would become the more important. And 2, if effective evidence is presented on the larceny charge, it will influence the jury's perception of innocence because it provides a credible motive.
Well, how about that murder charge?
Prosecution performed brilliantly. Clearly, Granger knew what he wanted out of this witness, and with the skill of a surgeon, he went in and pulled it out.
Like a gallbladder, huh? Well, it's always exciting to watch a pro. Thank you, Richard. Coming up, the Marin Citizens Tax Board is protesting the IRS ruling that ski equipment donated to the homeless is not tax deductible. The story when we come back.
Good morning. Will the prosecution please call another witness?